The alien fleet arrived above Earth without warning. Their ships were black and massive, floating like shadows in the sky. People on the ground looked up in fear. The aliens did not send a message. They didn't ask for peace. They came to take control. In space, inside the alien flagship, Commander Drex stood tall. He was from the Zarn Empire, a powerful race that had already taken over 12 other planets. He looked at Earth through a large screen and smiled. "Primitive," he said. "This will be easy." His officers laughed. Back on Earth, world leaders panicked. But deep inside a hidden base in the mountains, a small human team prepared for battle. It was called Scout Unit Bravo 9. Just 20 soldiers, but each one highly trained. Their commander, Captain Mara, looked calm. She knew they couldn't win. Their mission wasn't to defeat the aliens, it was to learn, to fight, and to send. Back data for Earth's real army. "We hit them fast and smart," Mara told her team. "Then we die hard, no surrender." The alien ships started attacking Earth's defenses. Satellites were destroyed. Communication systems went down. But just before the blackout, Scout Unit Bravo 9 was deployed. They flew into the sky in small stealth ships, heading straight toward the enemy. The aliens laughed at the small human crafts. "Insects," one said. "They send toys to fight war machines." But the first human attack surprised them. A tiny Earth fighter spun around one of the Zarn ships and dropped a bomb that exploded with blue fire. The alien ship shook. Systems went offline for 10 seconds. That never happened before, not even in battles with other empires. Commander Drex growled, "Take them seriously, destroy them." The sky turned into a battlefield. Human ships flew, in unpredictable patterns. They used speed and strange weapons. One of them, piloted by a young man named Jonas, crashed into a large alien cruiser. His last words were, "For Earth." The explosion broke the alien ship in half. Aliens started to get nervous. These weren't weaklings. These humans fought like nothing they had seen before. But the numbers were against the humans. One by one, the scout fighters were destroyed. Still, each death hurt the aliens. Every pilot caused damage. Every explosion taught Earth's AI new tricks. Inside her ship, Captain Mara knew time was short. Her ship was on fire. She opened her final message and sent it straight to Earth's deep core command. It carried one thing: full battle data and location of every alien ship. "Mission complete," she whispered. Then her ship exploded in silence. The aliens finally won the battle. The last human ship fell from the sky like a broken bird. Earth's cities were silent. The aliens landed their ground teams, marching with confidence. In the control room of the flagship, Commander Drex smiled again. "Earth is done," he said. "That was their army. Weak, but brave." Then one of his officers walked in, holding a piece of equipment taken from a fallen human pilot. "Commander," the officer said, "we found this on one of the enemy suits." Drex looked at the metal tag. His eyes narrowed. There were words printed in English. "Scout Unit, Bravo 9. For the first time in his life, Commander Drex felt fear. He turned to his officers. "Scout Unit?" he asked. "You mean that wasn't their full army?" "No, sir," the officer replied. "That was just a small team, a forward unit, a test group." Silence filled the room. Nobody laughed. Now, then another officer spoke. "Commander, if this was just a scout unit, what does their real army look like?" Far below, in the mountains of Antarctica, a giant underground door began to open. Heat waves burst into the sky. A voice deep inside Earth whispered, "Data received. Full mobilization begins." And somewhere in space, a new fleet began to rise. This time, it belonged to Earth. And it was not small. The aliens had made a mistake, a big one. They thought they had won the war, but they had only won the first battle. The real war was about to begin, and this time, Earth was ready. The alien. Flagship floated above Earth like a giant beast in the sky. Inside, everything was quiet. Commander Drex stood still, staring at the small metal tag in his hand. The words on it burned in his mind. Scout Unit, Bravo 9. He did not speak for several minutes. His officers waited, confused and nervous. Finally, Drex looked up. Send a report to the Emperor, he said. Tell him Earth's army is destroyed. But sir, said Lieutenant Varn, the youngest officer on the bridge, this tag says the humans were only scouts. What if more soldiers are coming? Drex gave him a cold look. Do you think weak creatures like humans can hide a real army? We crushed their best. It's over. Lieutenant Varn looked down. He didn't argue, but the fear stayed in his heart. In the lower deck of the ship, an alien named Zello, a science officer, studied the human tech taken from the battlefield. He was not a soldier. He didn't care about pride or war. He only cared about data. He placed the metal tag into a scanner. The alien machine took a few seconds, then displayed a translation. Scout Unit. A small forward team used to test enemy strength before sending the main force. Zello's 3 eyes widened. He called his supervisor at once. We need to inform. The High Command. The unit we fought was not the full Earth Army. The supervisor laughed. That's just a human lie. They wanted to scare us. Let it go. But the word scout is clear. We must prepare for... Enough, the supervisor said. Do your science job. Leave war to the soldiers. Zello sighed. He saved the data in a secret file and sent a backup to his private device. He had a bad feeling. Something didn't feel right. Meanwhile, on the bridge, Drex ordered the alien troops to spread across Earth. Their ships hovered above cities, collecting resources and scanning for survivors. Humans had mostly gone silent. Some cities looked empty. Too empty. In New York, a patrol team entered a ruined building. They scanned for life, but found nothing. Then one of them stepped on something, a trap. The floor exploded under them. 2 aliens died instantly. The survivor called the ship. Sir, they left traps. The city is not safe. Commander Drex growled. Keep searching. Clear every corner. But every city told the same story. Humans had left traps, not people. Silent guns, hidden bombs. It was as if they were never running. They were planning. Back in space, the alien, Emperor, received the first report from Earth. His voice was full of pride as he spoke to his court. We have added Earth to our empire. The humans gave a good fight, but they are finished. In the crowd, one older alien noble raised a hand. You say they are finished. But if those were only scout units, where is the real army? The Emperor frowned. You doubt our victory? No, my lord, the noble said slowly. But if we misjudge the enemy, we invite death. The Emperor waved his hand. Let them come. Our empire has crushed stronger worlds. Back on the flagship, Lieutenant Varn sat alone in the observation room. He watched Earth spin slowly below. It looked calm now. Too calm. He remembered how fast the humans fought, how clever they were, how they made big damage with small numbers. He pulled up the word scout on the translator again. He stared at it for a long time. Then the ship lights flickered. A power surge hit the main systems. Alarms started to beep. What's happening? Drex shouted. Unknown power signal from Earth, an officer said. Coming from the south. Pole. Massive energy detected. The signal vanished after a few seconds. But now the bridge was tense. Even Drex didn't speak. Lieutenant Varn leaned toward the commander. Sir, what if this was a signal to call the real army? Drex turned, angry. There is no real army. Then another officer entered with a new report. Commander, we've detected deep vibrations under Earth's surface. They are strange. What kind of strange? Drex asked. They match. Launch activity. the officer said. Large scale, multiple locations. Silence fell again. Then Varn stood up. Sir, we should retreat, regroup, study them more. What if we made a mistake? Drex's eyes burned. We do not run from insects. But what if they are not insects? Varn whispered. No one answered. Far below, in the deepest part of Earth, massive underground silos began to open. Gigantic machines came to life. Soldiers walked out of stasis chambers. A hidden AI spoke in a calm voice. Scout unit destroyed. Begin Phase 2. In space, human satellites hidden behind the moon turned on. They started scanning the alien fleet, quietly, invisibly, and in a dark room on the alien ship, Zelo, the science officer, looked at his private screen. The data was clear. The war hasn't started yet, he whispered. We only hit the first wall. But no one listened. The warning was ignored. The storm was coming. The alien fleet stayed in Earth's sky like a dark cloud. The warships hovered quietly, watching the planet below. After destroying the human scout unit, the Zarn Empire believed the fight was over. Commander Drex ordered his ships to begin, mining Earth's resources. He was sure the humans were too weak to strike again. But far under the ground, in places no alien could see, Earth was changing. In a secret base under the Rocky Mountains, General Ayla Cross stood in front of a large screen. Her silver uniform was clean, but her eyes were tired. She watched the replay of Scout Unit Bravo 9's last battle. Her face was hard as stone. Good work, Captain Mara, she whispered. You bought us time. Behind her, rows of officers worked in silence. Earth's true army had not been sleeping. It had been watching, building, preparing. A soldier stepped forward. Ma'am, the alien fleet is still spread thin. They are focusing on cities, not defenses. General Cross nodded. They think the war is over. Let's show them what Earth really looks like. She pressed a button on the screen. Red dots appeared all across the globe. These were hidden bases, deep under deserts, oceans, and frozen lands. Each base held soldiers, weapons, and war machines the aliens had never seen before. Back on the alien flagship, things were calm. Commander Drex sat in his chair, watching his officers report about cities, resources, and human survivors. Most of Earth's military buildings were empty now. It looked like the humans had run away. Drex smirked. Cowards. They hide instead of fighting. Suddenly, an alert sounded on the bridge. Commander! Shouted a technician. Something is happening in North America. Energy spikes, high levels. Put it on screen, Drex ordered. The screen showed the Rocky Mountains. Snow covered the peaks, but now something was glowing under the surface. Then, one by one, the mountains split open. A giant metal platform rose from the earth, covered in armor and giant weapons. It was a mobile fortress, something the aliens had never seen. Within seconds, it launched a beam straight into the sky. It hit one of the alien warships and cut it in half. No warning, no time to dodge. What was that? Drex shouted. Unknown weapon, sir. Not in our data. Another alert came in. Commander, similar energy spikes in Africa, Asia, and Antarctica. Multiple Earth bases are going active. One of the officers turned pale. They were hiding everything. We saw nothing before. It was all underground. Drex stood up, his eyes wide now. I want all ships on alert. Prepare for counterattack. But it was already too late. From the oceans, huge submarines surfaced and launched missiles. From the forests, fast-moving land units charged out, their wheels silent, their guns sharp. From deep space, hidden human drones activated and flew toward the alien fleet. The Zarn fleet fired back, but Earth's counterattack was well planned. Human weapons hit hard and fast. Alien ships started falling one by one. In South America, an alien landing team tried to run, but a human mech, 4 times taller than a man, crushed them with its feet and burned the rest with fire from its arms. Everywhere, Earth was fighting back. On the alien flagship, chaos broke out. Officers shouted, alarms screamed, and lights blinked red. "We're losing the Southern Fleet," one officer cried. "The human response is too fast," said another. Commander Drex's face turned red with rage. "Where did they hide all of this? Why didn't we see this coming?" Lieutenant Varn stepped forward. "Sir, they let us win the first battle. They wanted you to feel safe," Drex growled. "They used their scouts to study us." "Yes," Varn nodded. "And now, they strike where it hurts." In the science lab, Zelo stared at the live feeds. "Their tech is advanced, adaptive," he said softly. "Not primitive at all." One alien officer looked at him. "You knew, didn't you?" Zelo nodded. "I tried to warn them. No one listened." Outside, the skies turned into fire. Earth's ships, small and fast, moved like wasps. They didn't fight in lines. They danced in chaos. Alien ships built for power could not keep up. On the moon, a hidden human railgun fired. The beam shot through space and tore a path through 5 alien warships at once. Earth had waited. Now it was awake. Back at Earth's central base, General Cross watched with calm eyes. She spoke into her headset. "This is not for revenge. This is for survival. Push them back. Show them what happens when you underestimate humanity." And so, the battle that was supposed to end quickly turned into something else. The Zarn Empire thought they fought Earth's best. They were wrong. That was just Earth's beginning. The real war had started, and Earth wasn't losing anymore. The Zarn Empire was in shock. Their powerful warships, once feared across galaxies, were now falling from Earth's sky like burning stars. What was supposed to be a quick and easy victory had become a nightmare. Commander Drex stood in the middle of the command deck, silent and angry. The giant screen in front of him showed red alerts, one after another. The Earthlings were not running. They were fighting back and fighting smart. "How is this possible?" Drex asked in a cold voice. No one answered. He walked to the front of the room and pointed at the map. "We destroyed their scout unit. We destroyed their cities. Their armies should be broken." "They weren't real armies," said Zelo, the scientist, stepping forward. "You didn't destroy their defense. You destroyed a distraction." Drex's red eyes narrowed. "Explain." Zelo showed a small hologram of Earth's underground structure. "They hid their real army underground and in space. Their satellites were not for communication. They were weapons. Their scout unit, the one we defeated, was only a test. They wanted to see how we fight." Drex clenched his fists. "So the humans used our own pride against us?" Zelo nodded. "Yes, Commander. And now, they are striking our weak points." Across the Earth, Zarn warships tried to regroup, but human attacks came fast and without warning. In Europe, a human air fleet dropped, out of stealth and bombed an alien base to dust. In the Pacific, human submarines used smart torpedoes to sink alien carriers. Nothing was safe anymore. In orbit, a group of alien ships tried to escape to space, but Earth's orbital defense system activated. Lasers shot from hidden platforms and turned the ships into fireballs before they could jump. Back in the human command center, General Ayla Cross stood beside a massive screen, calm and focused. "Report," she said. An officer replied, "Alien fleet is breaking. Their command ships are trying to regroup over South Asia, but our space drones are tracking them." "Good," Cross said. "Keep the pressure. No rest, no mercy." She walked through the control room, watching her soldiers work like one machine. Every button pressed, every order given, was sharp and clean. "They thought we were weak," she said, almost to herself. "Let's show them what Earth is made of." On the alien flagship, Drex watched the battle reports come in. Whole fleets were gone. Ground troops were trapped and calling for help. Earth was not just fighting back. It was winning. He turned to his team. We need to strike their main command center. Now. If we take out their general, we might still win. Lieutenant Varn shook his head. We can't locate it. They're moving their command every hour. It's always changing. Then we find it the hard way, Drex growled. Send spies, send drones, tear the surface apart if you have to. But the humans had planned for this too. In Africa, an alien spy ship landed in secret to search for the command base. But as soon as its crew stepped out, they were surrounded by camouflaged human soldiers. The Zarn officers didn't even have time to shout. Too easy, one of the human squad leaders said, shaking his head. Back in space, the Zarn Empire finally realized the truth. Earth was not just defending itself. Earth was hunting them, now. In the Empire's central control room, far across the stars, the Zarn High Council watched the reports in silence. Elder Kyrex, the oldest of them all, leaned forward. This was a mistake, he said. We underestimated them, said another council member. They looked primitive, someone added. Kyrex nodded slowly. Yes, but their strength is not in their tools. It is in their will. A younger council member stood up. We must send more ships, reinforcements, bring the full power of the Empire. No, Kyrex said. If we send more and they fall too, the Empire will look weak. Then what do we do? The younger one asked. Kyrex looked at the burning Earth on the screen. We survive, we wait, and we learn. Meanwhile, back on Earth, General Cross gave new orders. Time to move to Phase 3. Push them out of orbit. Take back the sky. Yes, General, her officers shouted. On her screen, the human fleet rose like a storm. Ships that had been hiding behind the moon and in deep-sea trenches now flew into battle. They were sleek, fast, and deadly. The alien ships tried to hold their ground, but they were tired, confused, and scared. Earth's ships moved with purpose. They didn't attack blindly. They attacked smart. Each shot hit something important. Inside the alien flagship, lights flickered. Systems failed. One of the engines was down. Drex stared at the screen, his voice low. This can't be happening. Zelo stepped beside him. It is happening. Earth is not a backwater planet. It is a sleeping dragon. And you woke it up. Outside, Earth's forces closed in from all sides. The hunter had become the hunted, and the Zarn Empire was running out of places to hide. The night sky over Earth was no longer dark. Fire and light filled the air as Earth's space fleet battled what was left of the Zarn Empire's invasion forces. Where once the alien ships had ruled space with ease, now they were falling like burning stars. General Ayla Cross stood at the front of the command ship Vigilant Storm. Her eyes watched every move on the screen in front of her. Behind her, officers worked fast, giving and receiving orders. Target locked, one officer said. Fire, General Cross replied without hesitation. A flash of white light burst from the ship. A powerful missile shot into the sky, heading straight for a Zarn battleship. The alien ship tried to dodge, but it was too slow. The missile hit its core. A moment later, the ship exploded, shaking the battlefield. Cheers rose from the crew, but Cross stayed calm. Don't celebrate yet, she said. The real fight is not over. In space, human ships moved with deadly skill. They worked together in perfect formations. The years of training, the secret plans, the hidden weapons, they were now all in use. One human pilot, Captain Juno Ray, flew her fighter through a group of alien ships. She dodged their lasers and returned fire with sharp, fast shots. Her ship danced between debris and flames like it had wings. 2 down, she said into her radio. Going for the 3rd. Behind her, more fighters joined. They moved like a storm, leaving destruction behind them. On the ground, human commandos attacked. Alien bases hidden in deserts and forests. They struck at night, using stealth and speed. In one mission, a team of 6 soldiers took down an alien control tower guarded by over 50 Zarn troops. They weren't ready for humans to fight like this. one soldier whispered as they escaped through the trees. Back in space, Commander. Drex of the Zarn Empire watched the chaos unfold from the bridge of his damaged flagship. His face was full of disbelief. "We are losing," he said softly. His crew didn't answer. They were scared. Their systems were failing. Their numbers were shrinking. Drex turned to his scientist, Zelo. "Tell me we have a plan." Zelo shook his head. "We planned for an easy win, not for a world that fights like this." Drex stared at the screen again. Human ships surrounded them. Every escape path was blocked. It was not just war, it was a trap, and they were inside it. "We can't retreat?" Drex asked. "No, Commander. They'll shoot us down before we can jump to light speed." In the human command center, Cross spoke into her communicator. "Begin Operation Thunderfall. End this." Across the battlefield, new weapons powered up. Earth had been saving its strongest tools for this moment. Satellites in orbit aimed giant energy beams at alien ships. Ground bases fired missiles that could chase targets through space. Submarines launched stealth drones that attacked from below. Everything hit at once. Alien ships exploded in every direction. Some tried to fight back, but most couldn't even aim in time. They had never seen humans fight like this. This was not a race of weaklings. This was a world that had prepared for the worst and now delivered it. On the Zarn flagship, alarms screamed. Flames burst from the walls. The ship was breaking apart. "Abandon ship!" one officer shouted, but it was too late. A final blast hit the engine room. The ship shook violently. Drex held onto a rail as smoke filled the air. "This is not the end," he said through his teeth. "We will return." Then the ship broke in two and was lost in the fire. Far above, General Cross watched the alien ship explode. "Target neutralized," an officer confirmed. Cross nodded. "Scan for survivors. Rescue if possible, but no mercy for armed hostiles." "Yes, General." Silence filled the command ship for a moment. Earth had won the battle. But Cross knew the war was not over. She turned to her second-in-command. "Prepare for Phase 4. If the Zarn Empire sends more, we need to be ready." "We'll be ready, ma'am," the officer said. Down on Earth, people came out of their homes. They looked up at the sky and saw victory. Children cheered. Families cried. They had survived, but the soldiers did not rest. Not yet. In Africa, Asia, and the Americas, human forces searched the ruins for alien tech. They needed to learn everything they could. They knew the Empire would not forget this loss. Cross walked to the window of her ship. She looked down at the blue planet below. "They came to conquer," she whispered. "But now they fear us." For the first time in Earth's history, humanity had defeated an interstellar enemy. And for the first time in the galaxy's history, a new power had risen. A power not born from greed or cruelty, but from courage, unity, and the will to survive, or be. Zarn Empire had made one mistake. They thought they were fighting Earth's army. Now they knew the truth. They had only faced Earth's scout force. The real power of Earth was just beginning. After the final alien ship exploded in Earth's orbit, a strange silence fell across the battlefield. Fires still burned in the sky. Metal pieces from destroyed ships floated around the Earth like deadly stars. But for the first time in weeks, there were no more enemy attacks. Earth was still standing. General Ayla Cross looked at the main screen inside the command ship Vigilant Storm. She didn't smile. Victory was not the end. It was just a signal, a warning to the galaxy. Earth was not weak. Earth could fight back. Status. "Report," she ordered. "All alien signals are gone," her officer replied. "But we found one escape pod. Zarn life signs are weak, but alive." Cross narrowed her eyes. "Bring it aboard. I want answers." The pod was pulled into the ship's lower bay. Soldiers surrounded it with guns ready. When the door opened, a single alien stepped out, coughing and bleeding. It was Zelo, the Zarn scientist. He raised his arms. "I surrender," he said in a broken voice. General Cross walked in. "Why did your empire attack Earth?" Zelo looked at her. "We thought you were just another low planet, easy to control. We were wrong." Cross didn't reply right away. She studied his face, then said, "You came to make Earth a slave world. Instead, your fleet is gone." Zelo nodded slowly. "Yes, and now, the other empires will hear of this." That sentence stayed in Cross's mind. Later that day, inside Earth's Global Defense Center, leaders from every nation gathered through holograms. They listened as Cross spoke. "We won the battle, but this war is bigger than one enemy. The Zarn Empire is just one piece of the galaxy. There are others, and now they know we exist." Some leaders looked nervous, others angry, but all of them agreed on one thing. Earth needed to send a message, not one of peace, not yet. First, they had to show strength, and so Earth's top. Engineers and scientists worked day and night. They used the alien technology collected from the battlefield. They studied the way the Zarn ships worked. In weeks, they built something new, something powerful. A signal tower hidden in the mountains was completed. It could send a message far across space, a message that would reach the edges of the galaxy. But before they turned it on, Cross recorded a video. She stood in front of the camera. No military uniform, just plain clothes. Behind her, Earth's flag waved in the wind. "My name is General Ayla Cross," she began. "I speak for the people of Earth. If you can hear this message, know this. We are not looking for war, but we will not bow. The Zarn Empire came to conquer us. They failed." She paused, then looked straight into the camera. "If you come in peace, we will welcome you. If you come with weapons, we will fight harder than you can imagine." The signal was sent. Across the stars, across planets and space stations, the message spread like fire. In a distant corner of the galaxy, a council of alien races watched it in silence. A tall creature with crystal skin leaned forward. "So, the humans are awake in another part of space. On a pirate moon, a warlord watched the message and laughed. They beat the Zarn. I want to see these humans for myself." And in the deep dark, where shadows moved and ancient eyes watched, something stirred. Back on Earth, people tried to return to normal life. Schools reopened. Factories began to build more defense ships. But every person, from the smallest child to the oldest farmer, now knew the truth. They were no longer alone. Young cadets joined space training programs. Engineers worked on new shields and weapons. Pilots trained in zero gravity. The world was changing fast. In the sky above, new human. Ships were being built in orbit, larger than before, stronger. They would not just defend, they would explore. Captain Juno Ray, the ace pilot who had destroyed 5 Zarn ships in battle, stood beside her new ship. It was sleek, silver, and ready for deep space. "Where are we going first?" she asked her commander. The answer was simple. Out. Earth was ready to step into the galaxy, not as prey, but as a new force, a force that had tasted blood, survived war, and come back even stronger. But deep in space, in a ruined Zarn base, a small signal still blinked. A message had been sent to someone else, far older, far stronger. It said, "Earth resisted. Earth won. Earth must be erased." And somewhere in the cold dark, something old opened its eyes. The real war was not over. It hadn't even begun. Earth had won its first war in space. The people cheered. Cities lit up with hope. For a short while, the fear was gone. Humanity had stood tall, broken the enemy, and sent a message across the stars. But far beyond Earth, in the silent dark of the galaxy, something had listened. Something ancient. Something terrible. On a planet where no sun touched the ground, deep inside a black fortress of metal and bone, a tall creature opened its eyes. Its skin was dark like oil, and its voice sounded like thunder moving through stone. It stood before a huge round table where shadows sat and whispered in strange languages. "The humans have fire," the creature said. The Zarn failed. A second shadow moved. They were not ready for a fight. They thought Earth was soft. The tall creature stepped forward. "Then we will crush them with full power. Let the humans know what true war is." Back on Earth, General Ayla Cross stood in the Global Command Center. She stared at a new report on the screen. The signal that had warned other alien empires was now bringing replies. Hundreds of strange messages, some peaceful, some threatening. One of them made her blood turn cold. It had no name, no voice, just a symbol, a black circle with a red eye. Her science team tried to track the signal's location, but it was hidden deep beyond known space. Nothing matched it. No race, no language, just silence. Then the stars near Pluto began to shift. A black object, huge and silent, appeared at the edge of the solar system. It didn't move. It just watched. Cross called a meeting. "That thing is not Zarn," she said. "It didn't reply to our messages. It didn't fire any weapons. But it's there. And it's watching." Captain Juno Ray stood beside her, arms crossed. "It's like it's waiting for something." Cross nodded. "Yes, and we don't know what." More ships were built. Earth's new fleet launched patrols near Jupiter and Saturn. But none of them dared go near the black object. Some called it the Eye. Others called it the Watcher. Meanwhile, on the alien world of the Council of Light, leaders of peaceful races debated what to do about Earth. One of them, a thin silver being with glowing eyes, spoke with fear. "Humans are fire. If they burn, they may burn us all. But if we help them, maybe they become something greater." But help would not come quickly. On Earth, small attacks started again. Not full wars, but tests. Unknown ships attacked outer stations near Mars. Pirate signals began jamming space beacons. Civilian miners vanished near asteroid belts. Earth was not allowed to rest. One day, in a quiet lab under the ice of Antarctica, a deep space signal arrived. It was a warning, an old one, left by a dead civilization. The message had taken thousands of years to reach Earth. The signal said, "Beware the red eye. It watches. It waits. Then it devours." General Cross heard the message and knew it was not a lie. She met with Earth's top leaders. "We must prepare. We need more alliances, more weapons, and most important, we must explore." "What do you mean?" a world president asked. Cross looked up at the stars through a glass ceiling. "We don't win by hiding. We win by moving forward, by learning, by being everywhere they are not." Soon, new scout ships were sent far beyond Neptune. One ship, the Pathfinder, discovered a broken alien satellite that had maps to star systems Earth had never seen before. Another found signs of a lost war, burned planets and wrecked ships floating forever in darkness. And near one ruined world, the Pathfinder crew found something terrifying, a massive wall of alien bones. Ships turned into coffins, soldiers turned to dust. A message was written in burned metal. They came, they watched, they erased. Back on Earth, Captain Juno was given a new command. The EHS Valiant Dawn, Earth's largest ship, was ready. Built with both human and alien tech, it could travel faster than light. Its mission: explore the galaxy, find allies, and discover the truth behind the red eye. Before launch, Cross visited the ship. She looked at Juno. "You ready to see what's out there?" Juno smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Not really. But we have to." As the Valiant Dawn launched, People across Earth watched. For the first time, humans were not waiting to be attacked. They were going out to face the galaxy. The red eye still watched from the edge of the system, still silent, still waiting, and, far beyond, in places even the stars feared to shine, something darker moved. It had many names. Some called it the End, some called it the Devourer. But soon, it would have a new name. Humanity would name it themselves, after they fought it, after they bled, after they survived. Because this time, Earth was not sending a scout. They were sending a storm, and the galaxy would never be the same again.